Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I'm in the United States of America, Colorado, 291 Single Barrel Colorado Bourbon whiskey, hand distilled and bottled by Distillery 291, Colorado Springs, Colorado, aspen stave finished, distilled from a bourbon mash, 50% alcohol, 100 proof. I have barrel number 196, by the way. Now, I bought this on an auction from the UK. How it made it to the UK, I never know. I just know that I have it now in Germany. I did a bottle share with this, so this has already been, people get different samples, 5 cl or 10 cl samples they buy from me over here. Most of the bourbon groups, even in Europe, have now been closed down, but we have a Facebook group where I have a 70, 80 people that like to be like to get samples from me from unique and exotic whiskeys. Now, Michael Meyer was a photographer, for 27 years. One of the things that changed his life, as many other people, was 9/11. After 9/11, he and his family moved out to Colorado Springs, Colorado, and he was actually commuting from Colorado to New York to work as a photographer. He had, I don't know how many big people, he was for Vogue and all the other magazines, so very, very good. One day on the way back from one of his trips to New York City, I had read an article about Hendrick's gin, and he basically said, I can do that. And so he went to one of his buddies. He had a brewery, distillery, and the guy said, I can help you. But first of all, you need to get your license. So Michael Meyer got the license, the friend helped him, and now we have the Distillery 291. Why 291? First of all, the very, very first photo exhibition in New York City, Fifth Avenue, 1900, was called 291. And Michael Meyer also went to university, and what was his dorm room number? You guessed it correctly, 291. So this actually has a very important relevance for his life. Now, what's missing here is all the little tiny stickers. Now, this bottle made it over to Europe before then, the double gold at San Francisco, before the World Whiskey Awards and blah, blah, blah. It costs about $70 in the States. I had to pay about 90 euros over here in Europe, which is not that bad. Charred aspen stave finish. Now, if you read the back, it says here, aged less than, hold your horses, 2 years in an American oak barrel. I really have to laugh about this. There was an interview with Michael Meyer, and it was asked, what's the most difficult thing about being a distillery today? He says, yeah, managing stock. I have to distill this today for something in 1 year. It's always a 1 year process. He has to wait for a stock. It's just like, oh, guy, get a life. I'm sorry, Michael. Elijah Craig, 12 years old, used to be, will once again be. Redbreast, 21-year-old, 21 years. You do it today, 21 years later, you can bottle it. That's a problem. Understanding what the market will be like in 12, 15, 18, 21 years. 1 year in advance. So what he does is he takes a 10-gallon barrel, American oak. It does not say used. It must be new because it says bourbon here. And then he actually puts these charred aspen staves in there. I don't know if they're heavily charred or just a little bit charred. Who knows? Now, the last little tiny little tidbit here of interest is Michael Meyer and Sam Elliott are friends. Sam Elliott, I love that actor, that voice, and that demeanor and manner. It's just he's just like a secret hero of mine, and he's on Netflix on The Ranch on a season 2 and 3. You will see, instead of, I think it was originally Maker's Mark, you'll see here 291. That was my first actually time ever I saw this bottle. As I googled, here's 291, what's that? And then I actually decided to buy this bottle online. Very, very good. So, the nose. I've had something similar to this. A little bit young, a little bit still rough around the edges. And I think I'm going to take something you probably also never have seen, and that is here a filtered through sugar maple Tullahoma. That is here a George Dickel product, RX from the Cascade Hollow Distillery, Cascade Hollow, and this is Cascade Bourbon, 40%. And I'd just like to try this compared to that. What can I say? Every once in a while in auctions you'll see this as well. This is where I got my bottle also from. Who knows? Who knows? All right. Formerly Cascade, established in 1870 and made famous by its great taste and resourcefulness, it defied prohibition. Its purity gained it a federal permit for use as a prescription medicine, sold under the RX designation. Known ever since by its drinkers as RX, it's still appreciated today. RX, the brand that won't be denied. Interesting. All right. So now over here we have the classic type of bourbon. Even though it's Tennessee, it's not Tennessee whiskey, it's a bourbon. And this is, as we need to have, is filtered through sugar maple, as Tennessee whiskey needs to be. I get much more of a spice. Okay, I get some special Italian type of spices for me. I get basil, and I get marjoram. When I do Italian cuisine, sometimes those are some of the things I'm getting in here. It's very, very. It's also a lot of caramel or caramel. I remember once I was in the UK, and I was given some fairly old, cheap type of caramel candy or sweets. And when you chew on them and a little bit, tiny little bit artificial and so on, that's those as imagine a caramel with a marjoram and a basil seasoning. That's what I'm getting here. It's not bad. It's actually nice. It's double gold, never. Over here, I'm just getting a very, very nice, sweet bourbon. So let's try it. We're at 100 proof. Here we're at 80 proof. It's somewhat green. If you ask me how old it was, I'm 2, 3 years old. I wouldn't have thought 1 year old to be honest. But then that finish is nice. It's long. It's very satisfying actually. But that first little punch there is not really the best. Nice long finish, I must admit. Just as a comparison for me, the RX bourbon seems watery, seems not interesting, inferior actually. This is a very good bourbon. I'm going to give it a B minus. I gave it a C plus in my German video, but I think it's growing on me, so it's going to be a B minus. Value for money, at least if I have to pay $70 for this, is going to be a C to C minus. I think we have to say mileage will vary. It's a single cask, so a single cask can be this, single cask can be this, or a single cask can be that. I'm not sure if every single cask is the conformity is really given here by the bourbon. I think they have like 7 different expressions. They have some rye. There's some other stuff out there. You can go to www.d.291.com and find out all the information you need then there. Very, very nice thing. What this doesn't really like is water. It gets hot. It gets a little bit of a bitterness. It gets a little bit of an awkward spiciness as well. Even on the nose, it just kind of 50%, absolutely great. Maybe even 53% would have been better. Who knows? But that's what they chose to give it to us at. But if you really put some water in there, it really doesn't improve that much, but rather it deteriorates a little bit, in my personal opinion. I looked online to try to find a review about the 291 bourbon. I found one guy and he had 17 views. So maybe I'll have more than him, who knows? I decided to do this. I think it's always weird that the bottle somehow makes it from Colorado to the UK to Germany. And no one else in the States has done this. Yes, Scotch Test Dummies did a 291 barrel proof video, but not the normal bourbon. So I'm the first. That's the way it is. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. If not, please tell others about this crazy American over here in Germany that reviews exotic and rare whiskeys and puts out videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I have 300 videos in English. I have 1,250 in German. And so that's what I do is I just take, after I do the German video, I do the English video and just say, hey, no one else has done it. Why not? My goal is to have a Wikipedia of bourbon. I'm sorry, Wikipedia of whiskey in German. And my job in English is to help other people who haven't found this video anyplace else. All right. Thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Tell others. WhiskyJason here. WhiskyJason, one word, at gmail.com if you'd like to contact me. Bye-bye.